Good morning and welcome back to the 6th episode of Typical Monday Podcast. I'm Lane.
And I am Ben.
Let's kick the 6th one off with us talking about The Irishman.
Oh yeah, we like I'm surprised we just talked about The Irishman recently been released on Netflix. I think it did have a theater release.
I'm kind of out of the loop. I did see it pop up. Heard one of my friend's dads talking about it briefly. Did see it. Looked good. I did see some of it. I think you've seen the whole thing though, right?
Yeah, and it's like 3 hours? It's a long movie.
It is very, very long, but I usually like long movies.
Yeah, I don't mind it either. But it's one of those things like I couldn't sit down and watch it all in one go because it was like
I gotcha.
I just had some stuff to do. But yeah. And like the fact that you haven't finished it, I think we can still talk about it. We just won't talk about spoilers.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
it's like historical events. It's not like there's big spoilers, anyways.
I didn't know that. Did not know that it was based on a true story.
Oh yeah, Hoppo. That was a real
cool.
real guy.
That name does sound familiar, but I didn't know. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and Frank the Irishman is actually a real guy.
Oh, really cool.
So Irishman is another.
Makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Is the newest Scorsese flick. Are you familiar with much of Martin Scorsese's
No. And I mean, I guess I can kind of start off because I've only seen like 30, 40 minutes of it. So I can give you my opinion and you can kind of just like dive in more because you've seen it all.
Right.
I thought it was really good from what I've seen. It's very intense, but like more importantly, it's believable. Like you can believe the characters are the roles that they are. Unlike we talked about and I think the previous episode 4, I believe, John Gotti. Where with John Travolta. I mean, like I liked the movie, I guess per se, but like it's just his character. It's not believable with him playing it, but with De Niro, 200% believable.
Yeah, I mean, look at the cast on this thing, man. You've got Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Ray Romano. You got it's a incredible cast.
Yeah, I don't even want to know what the budget is on that movie, but from what I've seen, really, really good. Just great. The story's great. Emotions are great. I mean, it's that I've only seen 30 to 40 minutes, but from what I've seen so far, it's really good. And I can usually tell like when a movie is going to get like really good reviews. Like when Stranger Things came out, like I think it's cool. It's not my type of show, but it's cool. So once I saw it, I'm like, this is gonna be huge. Just wait, Yeah. It's just like you can kind of tell. Or at least I can tell, like if you're watching something that's got really good quality, the story's great, it's like, okay, people are going to love this.
Right,
so,
yeah. And then being like a Scorsese thing, like we talked about it just for a second, but you haven't seen Goodfellas?
No. I might have. Is it a movie or is it a show?
Yeah, Goodfellas. It's got pretty much the same cast, except just 30 years ago maybe. So were they like more in their prime?
I probably have.
It's also got
It's
Ray
just
Liotta.
Been so long. Yeah.
Yeah, after this one, I think it's on Netflix. Watch Goodfellas. Yeah.
Watch that one?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. And then after that, I'm going to be watching What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
TV series.
We'll touch on that.
We literally just found out that the TV series
has already been released
out now.
Apparently.
Yeah. We thought it was like releasing or dropping next year.
Yeah, so we got to get that.
We're living under a rock.
Apparently.
Maybe it sucks, but the trailer looked good. So
the movie was so good.
We'll see. Oh my God, the movie was awesome.
Yeah. And so like you've gone as far to see the part where he like beats up the grocery store clerk.
I think I'm past that. So he was stealing the meat and he got the guy. He's like, well, I don't know what to say. It wasn't my fault. He did break the guy's hand to beat the crap out of him in front of his daughter because he pushed her. He was working for Hoffa. I think Hoffa Kennedy got elected.
Yeah, and that scene in particular, where this is my biggest issue with the movie. I think it's a great film. I think it's really good. My one issue, and it's kind of a big issue, but it's the de-aging, because like the big thing in this movie is you see Robert De Niro from a very old man, but then they de-age him to digitally. Did you know that?
Yeah. I mean, I saw something was going on.
Yeah. And so they de-age him to be like, I don't know, 40 years old. But I think it looks a little.
You didn't like it?
I feel like his eyes are a little like super like vibrant blue when he's young. But go back and watch where he beats up the guy.
I'm trying to think.
Because the one thing that you can't do when you de-age Robert De Niro, he's still a 75-year-old man. And so
yeah, I did see that.
the
part.
action is it's a little rough. It
doesn't look like he's really doing much damage.
Yeah, it's really,
I mean?
it's honestly really campy. And I thought, oh man, of course, but performance-wise, excellent. But it's like some of those things, like Joe Pesci's great. Joe Pesci, is the kind of his guy who like introduces him to Hoffa and all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I've seen him in a few other films.
From Home Alone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's one of the
that's
guys
where I know him from. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And he's one of the bad guys from Home Alone.
Oh my God.
And he's great. And I think when they age them up, I think it works really well. But when they de-age them to make them younger, it's the physicality. Like, you know, there's something about like the shoulders of like a young man versus an old man.
I can see
kind of
that.
like hunched and. But
it's good that, I mean, the bulk of the movie, they're not young, so that's good. They probably try to just kind of squeeze past that as fast as they can, but without losing depth. But yeah, that is the one part that I did notice whenever he was beating up that clerk, the store clerk. You can kind of tell it's like but I let that slide. I'm like, it's so far it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's really good. Great performances. And the other thing, again, just to pick this apart,
don't spoil it for me.
To pick apart, I probably will. Just to pick apart like this legendary director, like he's a legend. I love all of his stuff. But you know, like old men have like big wide heads. You know, like like an old when you get older, like your face gets kind of wider sometimes.
Nose gets bigger, ears get bigger.
Yeah, like there's certain things like even when Robert De Niro is supposed to be like a young 30, 40-year-old guy. He still looks like an old guy. Like, there's only so much you can do, like, which I guess is just the limitations. But that was the only thing that bothered me about the movie is I just feel like the CG. Also, there's some blood. All right, let me just get on my little soapbox here.
Go for it, man.
And it's also the only problem I have with the John Wick films because I also love all the John Wick stuff.
Is
I love
with
Keanu.
The blood or what?
Yeah, it's
not real.
It's
not real enough.
Yeah, and there's just something about like what I think called like squibs, right? When like you watch 90s movies and you see somebody get shot and it's like actual like fake blood that kind of it looks. There's one scene in particular in The Irishman where he shoots some people and the blood like just looks like so fake and there's not even like bullet holes in the people's chests almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like of course that doesn't take away from I think the movie is great, but also my issue with the John Wick movies is that of course, you know, I'm kind of a big movie and like CG movie nerd. And so I love both of these things that I'm picking apart. But like in the nowadays people used to use like blanks in their guns and stuff, but it's just not safe, especially when like, you know, how John Wick is like, you know, point blanking people in the face. Speaking
of movie critics, you didn't like Avatar when it first came out, right?
Not a fan, no.
Really?
No.
I really like that one. Yeah. Huh.
Well, it's crazy, man. Maybe we should watch it again and do a little go back to it.
So we're going to watch it and you're going to make remarks about it while we watch it. Like,
we should do commentary on it.
Commentary on the Avatar.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the 2's supposed to come out.
Oh, man. Was it James Cameron? Give me a break, dude. This is unacceptable.
I really liked the first one. I don't know what the story for the second one's going to be. Maybe they have a kid or something. I think
they allegedly have like 6 movies planned out or something.
Really?
Yeah, he's had like a whole like saga planned about this.
When was that released? Like 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Avatar?
Yeah.
Avatar's like 10 years old, man.
Yeah, the thing. That's a long time ago. Well, where's these other 6 movies that are planned?
That's what I think. It's unacceptable, dude. I think it's just so ridiculous. Let me look. Avatar. Was that 2012 maybe?
I got no idea. Maybe he thought the world was going to end. That's when he posted it.
2009. 10 years. Jeez. The movie's 10 years old, dude. We went and saw that movie in the theater 10 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, I'm probably not going to see it now. The fact that you're going to make me wait 10 years, I don't even care about the first one now.
I think it's unacceptable, man. But anyways, John Wick.
I'll give you that part.
Yeah, and so like they used to use like real blanks, so you can't do that anymore. But it doesn't
fake
look.
Blanks? What do you mean?
Like and again, it's just where it's just gas and it's it'd be blank, so nothing actually fires out. But like I don't know. We didn't plan a deep dive on movies, but have you ever seen The Crow?
No.
Yeah, well, the actor
be
who
Crow.
plays the Crow was killed from a blank that it was just so
Really?
in the 90s, so it was a big thing. And so now they don't use blanks. It's all just like airsoft guns that will, blow back, but there's
Gotcha.
and so but the blood doesn't look super real all the time. And so the muzzle flashes, although John Wick is like my favorite action movies in the world.
There's so much going on in those films. It's crazy.
Yeah, so if you really kind of get lost in it, it doesn't really take away that much. But that's my one issue is CG blood is kind of annoying. I know it's so much more practical and cheaper, but
Right. Yeah, it's all right. I'm not much of a movie critic. If I like it, I like it. If someone else hates it, that's fine by them. I still like it. You know what I mean?
Do we disagree on most?
We disagree on a lot. I
But
feel.
then we love a lot of the same when it comes to movies. Like
I think I like more movies than you do.
I think you do.
You're
Yeah.
much more pickier with movies. I don't have anything better to do. I'll relax and watch just about anything.
Really?
Unless, we're talking like Reese Witherspoon. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, just like if it's so chick flicky, I'm not watching that. But like with, it's pretty dang broad.
Yeah.
I'll watch
What are some movies you've seen lately?
I don't know.
Other than The Irishman, anything?
New season of Rick and Morty. Few episodes of South Park. Haven't seen my wife's been on a Korean drama binge, which actually has some of my family tied up in that too, since they come over to help out with the baby a couple hours here and there. They've since picked up the bad habit.
It's funny, some of the things that if you're just adjacent to somebody watching the thing, you just get sucked in.
And Korean dramas, man, I tell you what, like you obviously have to read everything that's going on, but like there's so more. They're a lot better than our TV shows here. Like it's.
Would you compare it
crazy.
to like? Is it like
really
a
hard to
soap
compare
opera? Is it in that realm, or is it more of like a TV drama?
It's kind of both. It's
Like a
kind of
mix
like a
between the
soap
two?
opera, TV drama. Kind of has like a. I'm trying to think of a movie that has the same vibe to it. Not like a Friends vibe, but it's like very wholesome, and like the worst thing you'll see is like someone might get shot. Like it's like
Really?
it's I don't know. It's like action drama, but they do a really good job. But it's crazy. It's like nothing. Watch a few of them. I don't know any of the names. But if you guys want to know the names of some really good Korean dramas, let us know. I'll drop some titles in the comments. But they're really, really good.
Yeah.
Like it's just like bizarre how good they are. It's like why has like no one heard of these here in the States?
Right.
It's just crazy.
I think they're kind of, I've heard a lot of people recently kind of talking about like
Really?
Korean dramas. And so like,
insane,
I think
man.
along with like K-pop, they're starting to make their way over a little bit. Of
gotcha.
course, not like super widespread,
Yeah.
but I think it's starting to find like an audience
K-pop.
here.
Forget the president
I hate all pop,
over
so
there.
K-pop
the
included.
President over there said that if they ever go to war, they're not immune, which I think is hilarious just to even make the comment.
That's funny, man.
So props to you.
Yeah.
But I guess that this episode is really going to kind of talk about me and Ben, specifically our personality type, kind of diving deep, getting down to the nuts and bolts, nitty gritty, I guess, if you will, and figure out kind of what makes us tick.
Yeah.
Why we're still friends somehow. Why,
Somehow it works. Yeah, so we're going to be using the 16personalities.com. I know lately I feel like a lot of people use more like the Enneagrams, like type 1, type 3.
Yeah, I see that.
But this is what we did when we were teenagers, and so it's
I think it's more fun, but yeah, So we did do it when we were teenagers. We've taken it a few times, kind of as we've gotten older. Mine stayed the same, but yours has changed.
mine has
So
changed
that's cool.
2 or 3
Yeah.
tiand
Yeah, so you're like
Which
growing.
is-
yeah,
growing
you know?
or yeah,
change. It's kind of hard, for the better or for the worse.
yeah. And like in my younger years, I was a little more. It was all in the. Let me pull it up here. I had the Irishman cast pulled up.
Oh, gotcha. That's how you were naming names. I'm like, how does this guy have a mental portfolio of all these names? Okay.
I mean, I've since watching the Irishman, I kind of went on like a refresher of Scorsese films. So I watched the
okay.
Gangs of New York with like who had like a young De Niro and Daniel Day-Lewis from There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
He was in there, and that was. I never realized. Again, this is not a movie episode. Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York is basically doing like a Larry David impression. which is like a Seinfeld impression almost.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
yeah, you know, yeah.
Wow,
Larry
jeez.
David's the showrunner, or whatever. Okay, 60 personalities. I could talk movies all day long. I'm a big movie guy. So, so we use 16 personalities. By the way, we have tried to do a 16 personalities episode. This is our third try now.
Really? Is it third? No, this is the second, I think.
Well, we tried a video that
We
died.
did a video. Yeah, that didn't work. Yeah.
And then we did a podcast that the
gotcha.
data was corrupted.
Which was a really good podcast.
Pretty good, I
think
thought.
it was good.
Maybe a little long, but
Yeah, true.
we're going to go. So maybe we're a little
twice
familiar.
as long this time.
I guess let's say what our personalities are. Mine is mediator. It's an INFP and yours is
Commander. ENTJ. T. Or A. It says both.
yeah. I think mine is a T. I'm more on the turbulent type than the assertive type.
Gotcha.
I think you are more on the assertive type than the turbulent
Yeah,
type.
the A comes first, but I mean it's the same thing. A and T. Yeah.
Or I think it's like you get one of those two, right? That's the
I have
variable.
literally both listed.
Oh, maybe two. That's what they always give you, I think.
Oh.
It's just because you got, remember, because I guessed you more as a T as a turbulent, which was incorrect, and you were the
assertive.
A.
Oh, gotcha.
So-
But I actually guessed yours and nailed it before.
Yeah, we did a test.
Exactly,
and you
which
nailed
is
me right on the
insane.
head, and I was one letter off on yours, but you got me like nailed
Yeah.
100% as a mediator. And what we'll get into is like these personality types, like they mention each other, and the fact that they kind of don't typically mix well.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Like it's like we should not
should
ever
on paper
be friends
should really work.
because it'll aggravate the other one so much so that they wouldn't be friends. But
Right.
if you do become friends, I guess their rewards pay off. They don't mention the rewards, but they say
Well,
that it pays off.
The reward for you
This
guys is
typical
this
Mondays
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah. And so
Oh,
I
boy.
think there is like sometimes some like, I don't know what you call it. Like you mentioned like aggravation or frustration. We do things so differently. Like the way your gut reaction is so different to mine and
Yeah.
vice versa.
I can see
There's
that,
like
yeah.
some mutual friendly frustration, I think, on the regular. Like between the way that you would do something and the way that I would do something is just so on the
Oh man.
polar opposite that
Yeah.
and I think we said this in another podcast. Or maybe it was the one that didn't make it out because the data was corrupted.
Probably.
But we fight a lot less than I think we should.
Yeah. I think so too, because it's like I guessed your personality type, so it's like I apparently know you.
Yeah,
you know,
and
so
I-
it's like I kind of know your reactions, how you think. So it's like I try and put myself through a filter to some extent too, and you're probably doing the same thing. So
Yeah,
it's
well, we
like-
both. I think we both like have a decent understanding of like, and we try to bend a little bit instead of like pushing too hard on like
right.
in the other direction. And so
Like a friendly game of Twister instead of Gladiator.
Yeah, friendly game of Twister. Bend it, don't break
Oh, my
it. Yeah.
God.
So mediator, I got it pulled up here on my phone. And I'm not going to read too much here, but mediator personalities are true idealists, always looking for the hint of good and even the worst of people and events, searching for ways to make things better. And on mediator, like some adjectives that I think here are like kind of like chill vibes, like laid back, more on the artsy side of things. And yours with being commander is like the opposite of
authority.
yeah.
Leadership. yeah. So this says commanders are natural born leaders. People with this personality type embody the gifts of charisma and confidence, and project authority in a way that draws crowds together behind a common goal. Commanders are also characterized by often ruthless level of rationality, using their drive, determination, and sharp minds to achieve whatever they've set themselves up for. Whatever they've set themselves, whatever end they've set for themselves.
Gotcha.
Good Lord. Says perhaps it is best that they make up only 3% of the population, lest they overwhelm the more timid and sensitive personality types that make up much of the rest of the world. But we have commanders to thank for many of the businesses and institutions we take for granted every day.
That's interesting. Yours is there's 3%, and then there's mine is 4%.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So both
Rare breeds.
Yeah. So mediators. inner flame and passion, for art and creativity. They're typically like reserved, typically introverted. I would think you're looking from this kind of stuff. And so I'm going to jump down, and I'm not going to read too much here, but it says, being a part of the diplomat role group, mediators are guided by their principles rather than by logic, kind of heart more than head. When deciding how to move forward, they'll look to honor, beauty, morality, and virtue. And they're led by the purity of their intent, not rewards or punishments, which is, I think, like the exact opposite. Yeah,
I am only driven by rewards and goals. This is, I guess, the saying that a commander, ENTJ, would have is, I guess, the underlying thought running through a commander's mind would be like, I don't care if you call me an insensitive bastard as long as I remain a efficient bastard.
Gotcha.
So, I think it says for me that there isn't even like a option to fail. There is either succeed or not, but apparently not isn't even the option. It's just
option,
like if you try, you're going to succeed. Period. So you don't even come up with a plan B because you're not going to fail, which is pretty cool.
And see, which is if you relate to that, like I relate in like failure. Like I view failure as just like a learning experience. Like.
Gotcha.
Like in my mind, like the way I view failure is like I think it's healthy. I think it's a healthy part of life. It's just learning.
I think so too. Yeah. I mean, I think everyone should also have fear too. I think fear in small doses is healthy. You don't want to be, like afraid of everything, because I've got people in my family that can't drive because they're so afraid to drive they actually can't drive. It's actually there's a name for that. I forget what it's called. And then if you're have no fear, the opposite, you're a punk kid and your trouble's gonna you're gonna get into some trouble. So I think a good amount of fear is definitely healthy.
Jumping down here, like listen to many people but talk to just a few. Like my circle of friends is typically pretty small. We talked about like from childhood, like looking back to the people that I grew up with. Since then, like this is the only friendship that like from childhood that I've like maintained.
Wow.
We live next to each other. Our families
something
and friends
more heartfelt.
Just couldn't ditch you even when I tried. Yeah. No. But this is like from as a teenager, like this is the only friendship like that I've taken from there, and like still, and we talked about it in the last podcast. Like we've been like on and off at certain points.
Yeah. But that's just life. I mean,
that's just how it goes. But yeah, so yeah, it is. And so my circle is typically pretty small. And I'm going to jump all the way down and look at the cool thing about 16 personalities. You said this last time, is they have pictures, and so
So
and they also have like people.
Maybe this is why we like because they provide us with pictures.
Like mediators that you may know is like J.R.R. Tolkien, William Shakespeare, Bjork, Alicia Keys, like musicians, writers, Tom Hiddleston, Johnny Depp, which is interesting.
Oh, cool.
Frodo Baggins, which sucks because Frodo Baggins is the worst character in Lord of the Rings. Arwen from Lord of the Rings.
The worst, but
Oh, he's the worst. He's hardcore the worst.
Really?
Yeah. Anne from Anne of Green Gables. Remember that TV show? Did you ever watch that as a kid? There's nothing else on.
I remember that book that you were forced to read as a kid, and Zach did a little stick figure, kind of like flip book out of that. It was a giant book. It was over like 600 pages, which for a kid, that's like insane to even
give a lot of pages,
give someone. Remember he did like a little stickman flip book page?
Yeah.
I forget what the crap
He was always
did,
good at that
like
kind of stuff.
600 pages of like drawing it. Oh my God.
Jeez.
Nope.
Yeah. what are some commanders that we may know, Lane?
Let's see here. I was gonna say commanders are true powerhouses and they cultivate an image of being larger than life. I am 6'5", so oh yeah. Let's see. Hit the nail on the head with that one. Commanders you may know are Steve Jobs, Gordon Ramsay, Margaret Thatcher, Frank D. Roosevelt, Jim Carrey, which I did not peg Jim Carrey for.
That's an interesting.
So that means his goal is just to be successful, and he acts like a lunatic for money, because like that's crazy. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, Harrison Ford, Malcolm X, Doctor Strange, Tony Soprano, David Palmer. Yeah, pretty stinking cool. I like Steve Jobs and Gordon Ramsay. Take a blend of them too. blonde
This is
hair.
the worst bloody meal I've ever had.
This
Get out of my bloody kitchen.
we can go to strengths and weaknesses.
I'm just
some
gonna
strengths
read.
you got?
I'm just gonna read the bullet points. I'm not gonna read anything
Oh, gosh.
else.
Yeah, there you go.
They're idealistic. They seek value and harmony. Open-minded and flexible. Very creative. Passionate and energetic. Dedicated and hardworking. Oh, those are the strengths. And those, I think, really, these things are always like, they're only true to a certain percent because everybody's an individual. But for the most part, I mean, that's totally me. Like I operate in like a kind of creative space, whether it's music or like graphic arts and stuff like that. That's kind of
I can see that.
And then so that's pretty much me. What do you got for strengths?
Strengths, I got efficient, energetic, self-confident, strong-willed, strategic thinkers, and charismatic and inspiring. Just kind of a workaholic, efficient. Show me the data. You know what I mean?
Show me the data.
Yeah. But in a strong, charismatic way that people or the group that I pull together don't feel like slaves in the part of a group. We all feel like we're like a big team. So I think that's probably the most important because everyone's got that boss that just lugs things at them. Kind of like one of my all-time favorite movies, Office Space. Did you ever see Office Space?
Who's in Office Space?
Office Space. That's how The Office, the TV show The Office, was made based off of Office Space. The guy. God, what was that guy? He's like, yeah. So I'm gonna need you to stay Saturday.
Oh yeah, totally.
Goldberg. I forget his name. But the main character reminds me of myself after he's been hypnotized. That's literally me. But I love that movie a lot. You know what, Bob? I'm just not really feeling it, It's like I maybe put a full 4 hours of work per week on average. I'm sorry to say it again, but it's just God. I love that movie so much.
I haven't seen it forever, but yeah, you get you.
Gotta watch it. Weaknesses. What you got for weaknesses?
My biggest weakness is also listed as my biggest strength. Which is too idealistic.
Okay.
And I often take it too far, too altruistic.
Go into idealistic. How could that be like weakness and idealistic? How?
So as a strength, it says friends and loved ones come to admire and depend on them for their optimism, their unshaken belief that all people are inherently good, perhaps really misunderstood. I have to disagree. I feel like I'm a little more realistic than I am idealistic. But on the weakness side, it says often take their idealism too far, setting themselves up for disappointment. As again and again, evil things happen in the world. This is true on a personal level too. Okay. But I feel like I'm more of a realist than I am an idealist.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on is too altruistic. Sometimes see themselves as selfish, but only because they want to give so much more than they're able to. Impractical. Was something captures their imagination. They can go for the artistic side more than like the practical things. It's very like art and creative, which I can relate with. You're the data man. I hate data. There's like I hate like your typical office stuff. Like what's the word? Starts with an A.
TPS reports. Analytics.
I hate that stuff too.
What's the other thing? It starts with A that I hate. I don't know what you mean.
It's basically relates to like office work and. I can't think. I was gonna move on.
I mean, I don't like office work either. Like, it just depends. Like, if I'm working for a corporation, chances are I'm gonna hate my job and quit. But like, I'm gonna hate looking at data for that. It's like if it's data for my own self,
but you would hate that. You would hate that because you're working for somebody else.
Exactly. Someone else is profiting off of my.
And I would hate that because I just feel like, well, maybe in a similar time, but feel like I'm just like part of the machine and not like creative enough.
Yeah, it's like I want to be the machine, not a cog type deal, which is a lot of my old jobs didn't work out, to say the least. But here I am now, starting a podcast.
Yeah. Moving on, take things personally. Takes challenging criticisms personally rather than inspiration. And difficult to get to know. A pretty private, reserved, cottage. I
can see that. Yeah.
I'm only like open with very, very few people.
It's taken a good 15 years for me to be able to tell you
peel
what
this
kind of
onion.
personality type he is. Yeah. Learned his name last week for the first time.
And what do you got
man.
for weaknesses?
I got stubborn and dominant. Just too much willpower can go too far. Intolerant, kind of it's my way or the highway. That is absolutely true. But it's like I know this about myself, so it's like I try and counteract that by like filtering what I'm thinking. It's like, okay,
Right.
think this thought. Okay, filter it. Let's say this, and that should work. Yeah, but impatient. Yeah, I can say it's true. Arrogant. I don't think so. But I mean, you're
A little bit,
okay.
sure.
Right.
There's
The other
a
guy
little-
agrees.
There's a little bit in there.
Poor handling of emotions. I guess. Yeah, sure. I agree. They're cold and ruthless. I don't try to be. It's just like my unwavering, I guess, focus. Just I don't care about the BS. Like if it's gonna
You didn't
offend you,
choose the
sorry.
thug life. The thug life chose you.
Sure. Yeah.
You didn't choose the data. The data chose you.
I can read more because I don't like labeling myself as cold and ruthless, even if it is true. So this just says their obsession with efficiency and unwavering belief in the merits of rationalism, especially professionally, makes commanders incredibly insensitive in pursuing their goals, dismissing personal circumstances, sensitivities, and preferences as irrational and irrelevant. So that's true. Like if it's not a part of the main goal, I don't really care how last Tuesday made you feel, Janet. It's like,
Right.
I just, that's just, there is no Janet. I'm just, that's just like sorry, Janet. Oh, God. But
Do we want to touch on romantic relationships?
yeah, they don't need to know that. It'll
Keep
never
that-
happen.
Yeah, keep it in. Yeah.
Keep it in your pants, YouTube. All right. Friendships. There we go.
All right, so I'm just gonna skim as best as I can here. True friends of people with a mediator personality type tend to be few and far between, but those that make the cut are often friends for life. I believe this is where I believe somewhere in here is where they mention your personality type. So I'll try and find that here.
I can read mine. You can find it unless there's more.
Yeah, so there's a little bit more here. Don't care so much for social situations. Prefer kind of things on a smaller scale.
I could see that, but not to any extreme because you don't have a problem going to big
Yeah, I'm
events
not like
either. It's just
crippled by and especially in my line of work, like my line of work is like working with people and working through problems, and so I just like being around
too.
a ton of people. Yeah, it is a different sense. Yeah, and like parties. I typically dislike parties because it's just not my thing. I don't like all the people are. It's just not my thing.
I gotcha.
So here we go. In a lot of ways, this limits the potential pool of friends to other types in the diplomat role group who are able to pick up on the subtle clues left by their mediator friends and who are more likely than not to enjoy something of a human enigma.
But I can pick them up.
A friendship with an executive, on the other hand, which is what I actually guessed you as an executive.
Right, which is
and
crazy.
You are, which is what is the letters on yours?
Commander ENTJ.
Yeah, I had you as an ESTJ.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
just almost
So
off.
you guessed me as a little more sensitive than
A little more turbulent.
analytical.
Yeah, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, I guess. And so on the other hand, is governed by social conventions and community participation as they are, would almost be a non sequitur. Though mediators may find the idea of being paired with their opposite fascinating enough to outweigh the practical challenges to such a friendship. So
you might not be up for it. I don't care. Not either way. But
it's like
really bad.
I think it's like it on paper
More challenging.
on paper may not work so great, but if you can get past the hurdles, which I think we do a fair job of, then it's a pretty solid thing.
Oh, nice. So let me let's. I guess you did find that bit then.
Yeah, I
That
did
works.
find it.
For me, it says friendships, as in most aspects of their lives, in friendship, commanders seek personal growth and inspiration, and they often have a plan for how to accomplish it. Friendships of circumstance built on things like shared routines are not commanders' preferred method. Rather, they pursue friends, seek out individuals who share their passion for deep, meaningful discussions and who enjoy learning and development as much as they do. It is not always easy to be a commander's friend. They demand...
Boy, I tell you.
Yeah. They demand a lot from these relationships, but they pay a great deal of attention to their friendships, and it is unlikely that it will ever feel stagnant. So that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, you're always like, let's go do a float tank, or let's go
Yeah.
you know.
You're always like, no,
I'm always like, I'm fine.
busy doing something else. Oh man, but yeah, it's like I don't have a lot of free time, so it's like when I do have free time, I'll usually text you and see if you want to, do something, and then if not, I'll text someone else. Then like next week, the list will just like rotate time video, not because I don't want to make anyone feel like.
Yeah, and schedules are tough, man, especially now in life more than ever, especially with kids and like, and
I'm working literally double time, and I sleep like almost a fourth of what I used to sleep. So
and
it's
like,
just, man.
Another thing about us, like to play on the opposite thing, like our schedules are almost like opposing as well. Like when you're free, typically I'm super booked and vice versa. Like, so it's weird. So like pretty much this, like at this point, like the podcast is like a scheduled, like we know about when it's going to be like each week. And that's, So we have conflicting schedules all the time.
Super busy, man. So it's not easy to stand up to a personality as big and as blustery as Commanders. I don't think I'm as big and blustery, but whatever. And they too often find that others crumple under the force they apply when they really start to enjoy themselves. That's true. I think the happier I get, the less filter I can actually provide people. So I might say something insensitive and it'll piss someone off. I don't even read it because I'm having so much fun. I can't do the filter. That's true, unfortunately. But I mean, I personally don't care, but I know it affects others. So that kind of makes me care. Like not,
wow.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm trying, Ben. Okay. Yeah, I am trying.
Yeah, and mine here at the end of the friendship thing says, and this is for sure true for me, mediators will always need to disappear for a while, removing themselves from others so they can recenter on their own minds and feelings. Often enough, people with a mediator personality type will emerge from this time alone, having come to some momentous decision that even their closest friends didn't know was weighing on them.
I will do it. Or something.
And that's super true for me. Is I'm not. I think at heart I'm an introvert, and I love to be home with the wife and kid and watch The Office or just putting something on TV. Like that's kind of like my recharge time. Like too much going out, too much doing things. Like it kind of drains me sometimes. So I do love to just
I feel like I'm literally 50-50. Like it put me as more of an extrovert, and I get that my job kind of requires that, I guess, but I feel like I'm 50-50 because I equally enjoy talking to people as well as coming back from a long day of work, relaxing and watching Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. But I don't really care either way, but I guess I don't want to be cooped up in the house, and maybe that's a little more. Yeah. Could see that.
Moving on to Parenthood.
I guess. Let's see.
You got anything else there?
This just says I'm a prisoner of my own mind. So let's just skip the Parenthood.
And this is, another place. I mean, we know what this says. We've been over this a few times. Parenting styles typically are very different. People who share the mediator personality type share a tendency not only to strive to learn and grow as principled, moral individuals, but to bring like-minded people on that journey with them. In their own subtle way, want to lead others forward as kindred spirits. They find no greater opportunity for this in parenthood.
Nice. Mine's super long. Good Lord. I'll try and cut this out a little bit. Like this is true. Just kind of glancing over it. It was really hard when I see kids like in the store or in public and they're like misbehaving. I'm like, oh my God.
You were just sharing a story. We won't go into any particulars, but how frustrated you were with some kids. Yeah,
it's just like I am not going to spank your child, okay? But it's just like when...
But I'm definitely thinking about it.
I am for sure thinking about it, and I'm holding everything back, too. Like, it's like when they go past a certain point of just unacceptable, it's like I feel like it's my duty to say something to the parents, like, what the crap are you doing on a day-to-day basis? Because you're clearly not doing jack. Oh my God. I just...
You're getting mad about it.
For example, like, yes. It's just like, it's not like, Mom, I want this. That's fine. Their kids are going to be a little annoying at times. I get that. But if they're like walking up to strangers, taking the things that they have because they like it, it's like, Jesus Christ, man. Slap your kid around just a little bit more. Good God. Okay, parenthood. Okay. Now I got that out. Often given their strong will and critical nature, it is challenging enough to spend a great deal of time with commanders by choice. Oh my God. As in friendships and romance, to be with them by default as in the parent-child relationship can border on the impossible. So let's back that up for a second. I don't really want to, but so it says as in friendships and romance. So to be with them by default, as in the parent-child relationship, meaning you can't get away, can border on the
Stuck
impossible.
With you.
This says this by no means suggests that people with the commander personality type are bad parents. Far from it. Far from it. It says simply that that their relationships with children who are typically more sensitive and less able to conduct truly rational analysis require a great deal more emotional tact and personal liberty than they are accustomed to giving. But it says, we're always up for a challenge and will take their roles as parents very seriously and with the utmost sense of personal responsibility. I am already seeing that to be true. Holding themselves to a higher standard than most, commanders' personalities see the success of their children as a reflection of those personal standards, when nothing more to see them grow into a smart, independent person who strive to achieve their goals. It goes on and on and on and on. So I'm just gonna cut that out. But that's true, because I think that's why I get so mad when I see kids that are just just hooligan little gremlins running around. Someone gave them water past noon or past midnight.
Yeah, don't feed them after midnight. And I'll read a little bit. It's really parenthood is really when you get to see how polar, kind of opposing. And so from the start, mediator parents, as yours is like frustrated with children and like the intellectual level, mine's like
you're teaching them how to paint.
From the start, mediator parents are warm, loving, and supportive, and take immeasurable joy in the wide-eyed wonder of their children as they explore, learn, and grow. People with the mediator personality type will give their children the freedom they need to do this, keeping an open mind and letting their children gain their own sense of understanding. At the same time, mediator parents will try to provide a backdrop to this freedom and experience, establishing a set of morals and values that guide the liberty with a sense of personal responsibility. Oh my God. I feel like this is the most accurate. The parent side of things on this is the most accurate for me. Is like,
so that's you, and I'm having a conference meeting with my 2-month-old, giving them the talk. All right, it's time to change your own diapers now.
You're not cutting the mustard, man. It's time to step it up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so and so it's either way there are, you can be too far in the ditch on either one of these, Yeah. And so true. like where on your side you would maybe have to work on like the emotional whatever. On my side I probably need to work on the structure and the discipline and stuff like that.
Mine says when these debates devolve into an emotional appeals is when commander parents run into real trouble. Their persistent weakness with emotional tolerance makes dealing with growing children, especially adolescents, their most significant challenge. Oh boy, this is gonna be great. I think that's enough for parenthood. I think I don't really want to talk anymore about it.
Mine says that the biggest challenge for mediator parents, especially more turbulent types, and I'm more on the turbulent side, who often have more trouble with self-doubt than most, is to establish more practical and day-to-day structures and rules. Mediators may be able to convey the abstract value of honesty with remarkable skill, but it's not always easy to equate that idea with the practical reality of the children being home from the movies when they said they were going to be. And especially challenging when these misunderstandings result in conflict. In these situations, mediator personalities do best with a partner who's able to play a stronger hand, more administrative. That's the A word I was thinking about in like office. Like administrative stuff is, that kill me. Just kill me.
I gotcha.
And I have kind of like an assistant in the office lately who's really good at that kind of side of things. So that's really balanced. Yeah. So administrative stuff I hate.
Yeah, I hate anything involving someone that's higher ranking than me. So it just good Lord. Factory work. Nope. Sorry.
Yeah.
Did for 4 years, not going back. No offense to anyone who's doing that. It was a good job.
It's good benefits, stable, good.
Benefits, I mean, it's like consistent pay, dental, medical. It's just it's for some people, and it's not for me. You can it's like you see yourself outperforming people day after day after day easily. It's like, okay, people can clearly see this crap. Like my numbers are significantly better like on a daily basis, and then the supervisor that everyone can't stand because she does nothing, they're child gets hired and immediately gets promoted above
Oh, wow.
you. Nope. Goodbye. See ya. I'll give you one chance. Give me a raise. If not, I'm leaving.
Yeesh.
Yep.
Well, speaking of
Another
that,
note.
career paths, right? Career
Career
paths. is up
path. There
next.
we go. Yeah.
So I got mine here. It is perhaps more challenging for mediators to find a satisfying career than any other type. Though
But
intelligent,
you found it, Ben. Right here, right now.
this is
You found
the
it.
most rewarding thing I've ever done.
Truly is.
Though intelligent, the regimented learning style of most schools makes long years earning an advanced degree with a formidable undertaking for people with the mediator personality type. At the same time, it's often what is needed to advance in a field that rings true for them. Mediators often wish they could just be doing what they love without the stress and rigor of professional life.
I see. I think college is a laughing joke, but I know a lot of people don't think that. It's just like, I don't see the point of wasting your years that you could be getting experience learning something else that can make you more money than what you're trying to become, than getting 70, 80, 90, even $100,000 easily in debt for hoping to get a job with zero experience.
Yeah,
And then you
it's
finally
tricky.
get that job, and 6 years down the later, when you have 3 kids and you're divorced twice, you get fired. You spiral out of control into a debt abyss. That does not sound like something I would like to do.
Yeah, college is one of those things. I think it just definitely depends on what you want to do. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if you want to be like, you know, in the medical field or doctor, like, there's no way around
Medical
it. You
field's true. It's like, it's medical and construction and I guess funeral homes. Like those are the business. I mean, they're not going anywhere. You know, like you're always going to be building things. People
Right.
are always going to be sick and dying. You know, and it's just, yeah, it's true. So let's see, career paths.
yeah, what you got?
Did you complete yours?
I just touched on mine a little bit at the beginning. You can
right.
start on yours and we'll just bounce back.
Career paths. It is in the world of careers that commanders' boldness and drive are truly at their best. No other personality type is better suited than commanders to be the respected leader of an organization or team, and no other personality type enjoys it quite so much. Combining their vision, intelligence, and determination to push ideas through to completion, no matter the obstacles, commanders are a force to be reckoned with. I feel like the way they're listing it is arrogant, but maybe because they know I'm arrogant, they're listing it that way, so I'll like it more. I don't know. It's kind of weird. This quote says,
I don't know.
"We all go
if you
up."
do like it, I guess it means you're arrogant.
Dang it. You're right. You're on to me. This quote just says, "We all go up or we all go down." So, like, if I am your boss, which at some point I guess a commander would be, yeah, I'm a really good boss to have. I'm that boss that you actually like. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
You're just talking about arrogance and like, I'm a great boss.
I am. Yeah. Well, okay. So
I'm
we all have that
I'm
boss
just teasing.
that's like, man, that was the best boss I've ever
Right.
had. I really wish he was my boss now, or like. That's me. We all go up or we all go down. I'm not gonna cut you crap. I'm not gonna blame things on you. You know, it's
Right.
like we all go up or we all go down. One big team. Yeah, that's how it should.
Gotcha.
That's how it should be. I think personality tests should be more common in the workworkplace.
I would
Kinda
agree with
figure
that.
out, you know, where people
I would
belong.
agree with that. Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
I got first and foremost is seemingly every mediator's dream growing up to become an author or a creative, which is you know
Author.
yeah, which
That's
is
really good. We should at some point write a book.
write a book. I have
Yeah.
a few ideas that I really want to get into. I just
So many crazy
have to-
stories. Like, it'd be a shame not to write a book. I mean, it's
yeah.
just.
I have
insane.
I have an idea for like a book for boys almost, which is a little twist on a book that we had when we were kids.
Yeah,
but
what
it
was
was
that
a-
called? Was it called Book
It was
for
like
Boys?
it was like a maybe it was called. Maybe
It's
it
like
was
100
like
and something
yeah for
ways
boys or
for boys.
something.
Yeah,
entertain
building
each
a
other.
downhill go kart with no engine.
Yeah, that was
I'm
a dream of
glad
ours.
we didn't
Yeah.
build it, but we were so close.
We were so set on it, yeah. But you know, yeah, a little like yeah. So,
Sad.
well,
Push it down a hill, push it back up. God,
well, a novel is a classic choice. It is rarely an accessible one, and there are many viable options for freedom-loving mediators. Internet brings a lot of opportunities to mediators. Jumping around here. As organizations expand their reach beyond native tongues, they will come to be dependent on mediator personality types with their gift for language and written expression to take their rougher translations and stale pitches and inject them with a sense of beauty and poetry. I actually
Pretty cool.
I have a lot of people. Not to. I'm not a
Toot your own horn type
yeah,
thing.
I'm not like a great writer or anything, but I have people will come to me and ask me to like help them like write their like stuff they're working on, help like rewrite or whatever.
Nice.
So that's something I'm into.
To make note of that. Can proofread my stuff.
Sure, man. Anytime.
See if it sounds too bold and like
I'll
condescending.
I'll take your stale pitches and put some poetry in there.
Monthly, so say if I had a team together, my like monthly memos or something like, get your stupid carcasses, and
Carcasses.
I don't know, and it just be
That's a good
bold and
word.
condescending. You'd be like, oh no, I gotta fluff this up a bit. Yep, your gorgeous personalities. I can just. You can put filters in my computer program, so every time I type a word, it changes
Every
to
time you
something
type
else.
carcasses, it
Gold.
changes to
Gold, yeah. We will be millionaires in no time. For mine, it says, for commanders, failure is not an option. They conceive a vision of the future, formulate a strategy to achieve that vision, and execute each step with ruthless precision. Structure and order are key. If someone gets sloppy or holds things back with incompetence, laziness, or inefficiency, commanders will not hesitate to come down hard.
They're lazy carcasses.
They're lazy carcasses. Commander personalities pursue their goals with singular vision and have strict standards for themselves and others that are designed. Ben's over here shaking his head.
I'm
Designed above
agreeing,
all
man.
else to be
I'm saying-
effective. You're like, yep, same.
Not in a bad way. It's just it's accurate.
I know. This makes commanders excellent corporate strategists in their objectivity. Strategists. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it says. I don't know.
Strategists.
Strategists. Yeah, sure.
Not to
And their
correct.
objectivity and clarity of thought make them respected lawyers and judges. Not bad. I don't really want to be a lawyer. They're kind of viewed as snakes. I don't want to be viewed that way, but I could see myself as a lawyer.
That's a tough gig.
Yeah.
All 3 times we've tried to do this, in my thing, they use the phrase non sequitur, and I'm still not sure what that means.
Is that non
I've
sequitur meaning
Googled
like it's like you like to mediate things. You're not wanting to like stick your flagpole on like one side of the fence. You're like, okay, I think both things have good things to offer. I believe non sequitur. That's what that means.
All I know about non sequitur is that Michael Scott used it in one time.
Yeah, but he uses a lot of words he doesn't know.
Non sequitur, a conclusion or statement that does not logically follow from the previous argument or statement. It's like mixed weird metaphors and non sequiturs. Anyways, I've
maybe
read
I'm
it
wrong.
all 3 times like I understood what it meant, and I had no idea what it meant all 3 times. Last thing here on my where are we at? Career paths.
Yeah.
It says where mediators will not thrive in a high stress, team heavy business environment that burdens them with bureaucracy and tedium. Mediators need to be able to work with creativity and consideration. High pressure salespeople, they are not. It can be a challenge to avoid these roles as they are the basis for so much starting work, and it's often a risk to break away into something less dependable but more rewarding. To find a career path that resonates with mediators' values, no more than just a job, which is accurate. And again, like polar
Exact
opposite.
career path.
Polar opposite, yeah.
Wow, Jesus, man.
Do we need to cover workplace habits, you think? I think that's kind of a lot of what
We can. I mean, briefly, my end of my career paths is we were still in the making. That's good. That's true. I mean, at least we're not, it says I'm stubborn, but I'm open to learn new things. The only problem is it takes time for commander skills to be recognized, and stagnating as low-level employees will have them bouncing off the walls and deeply unhappy. That is for sure accurate.
Right, if you want to be your own boss, it kind of like what it said on mine side. That's a little kind of relates. Like there's stuff you got to do to pay your dues at the beginning.
Yeah,
but it would be really frustrating when you want to be your own boss. You got to put up with somebody else.
It's different when like you're paying your dues and they're significantly above your superior's dues, and it's just like, Lord, please God, someone see this. And if it's been years and no one sees it, it's like it's time for you to get the crap out of here.
Right.
People with the commander personality type crave leadership and responsibility, growth and opportunity, and genuinely enjoy managing others to get a job done. Commanders are visionaries and leaders, not grunts or day-to-day administrators. Getting that to be recognized is not always easy, but commanders are probably up to the task. You can glaze over workplace habits, maybe little things that get on your nerves or mine or whatever. If we see any,
Yeah,
I don't
mine
know.
says mediators as subordinates. That word always reminds me of Dwight. I don't have coworkers. I have subordinates.
Subordinates.
As subordinates, mediators prefer latitude and would much rather immerse themselves in a project alone or with a close team than simply be told what to do and move on.
Well, that works.
and
We're a closed team.
Yeah, and like in a similar way, like we both like don't micromanage me, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess it hits us in different ways. Like, I'd rather, like it says, like latitude. I'd rather work together than like work for. You know, like that kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
People with mediated personality type aren't looking for easy, forgettable work that pays the bills. They're looking for meaningful work that they actually want to think about, and it helps for their managers to frame responsibilities in terms of emotional merit rather than cold rationalization or business for its own sake. Yeah.
It's kind of cool that we're exact opposites. So what I lack in any kind of sensitivity or, like not hurt people's
We
feelings.
kind of make up
and,
each other's. Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, oh, you probably shouldn't say that. It's true, but you probably shouldn't say that.
Right.
You can pick up in that and vice versa. That's
Right.
pretty just thinking cool. I think.
Yeah, I'll read this and then I'll shut up. Mediators would rather know that their work will help to deliver a service they believe in instead of knowing that the bottom line has been boosted by 3%.
Gotcha.
Which you would be a bottom line guy.
Yeah, again, like not if it's for someone else. Like, cause like I'm not trying to step on people's backs so I look good and the bottom line's up. But it's like if I'm running my own business, which we are now, and it's someone else's feelings are getting in the way of me getting like 3% above, I'm like I don't give a crap about their feelings. So it's
Right.
So, yes.
Yeah.
True.
What do you got for? Did it have you as like subordinates?
It is. It has me for commander subordinates. It's just saying it's not going to work. It's just a list. Nope. Need to seek out new challenges and responsibilities. Eager to prove themselves. Eager to improve that nothing is impossible with a little hard work. Things get a little slow. Commander personality types. I said that too fast. If things get a little slow, commander personality types may slip into periods of absent-mindedness. But when they feel involved in the projects around them, they prove well organized, well prioritized. Now, this is very true. Working factory work 9 to 5 for me, I got in like this kind of like slum or like lull of just like run out the clock. No matter what you do, nothing's going to get recognized. Leave work, go to the gym, take a shower, go to bed, do it all the next day. It's a routine, which I somewhat like, just depending. But I can, that is absolutely true. Absent-mindedness is the perfect word. When you know you're not going to be recognized and you beat the manager's numbers over and over and over again.
Gotcha.
Like no one gives a crap. It's like, well, you know what? I'm not going to give a crap.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then that's
Nobody's
just-
noticing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, subordinates just doesn't work. Workplace habits, just the same stuff. I mean, just communications valued, yada yada, leadership admired, idle. Kidding, no, kidding. Joke. That was a joke.
Worshipped. We like to be worshipped.
I'm gonna start a cult. Actually, I think I was voted
Most likely to be a cult leader. High school,
yeah,
that was what
yeah.
your superlative.
Something about that. Yeah, I forget what it was. I mean, it was like some kind of group we did, and the class voted me most likely to be a cult leader. Yeah,
Wow,
I'm like,
interesting.
okay, all right, well,
Hey,
if
maybe
plan
you
A
can-
doesn't work out,
listen, you can go back to Citra and
listen. I don't know what you guys are doing here, but I want to be your boss. No, thank you.
yeah, so it says mediator colleagues feel most comfortable and as colleagues as equals rather than, and then I'll just go down to mediator managers. Our mediators are most mediators as managers are the most likely to feel like managers. Their egalitarian attitudes lend respect to every subordinate, preferring communication as human beings rather than as a boss employee.
What does that mean? Like, so a mediator as a manager is going to feel more like a manager?
Just feel less like a manager.
Oh, okay.
Prefers to
I
communicate
gotcha.
as human beings rather than use my authority over someone else to get.
Which is also a weakness too, because we don't get as much work done because people think of you more as a friend, right?
Yeah, it's you gotta watch out. Which ditch you're gonna be in.
which tit you're gonna be in.
Yeah. Because you're in one and I'm in the other.
One way to put it. My guy's sick and tired of me telling him what to do, and your guy's like, this guy's
How
too
does that
friendly.
make you feel?
Like, ah. Oh my gosh. Well, I shouldn't tell him what to do because it's kind of like a we all go up or down type thing, but I guess people still hate me regardless. So whatever, people. Conclusion. Man, I just think like they're listing it as arrogant. I don't know, man. Look at this. Armed with a powerful intellect and strategic thinking. I don't know. I just.
Do you
Whatever.
like that?
Kind of.
There you go.
All right, commanders can overcome or outmaneuver obstacles.
You're just trying to save face on the podcast.
Oh man, my plan did not work. Commanders can overcome or outmaneuver obstacles that seem unbeatable to most. At the same time, there are many quirks such as often unconstrained rationalism. Is rationalism ever constrained? I guess it could be, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough of it, it could be unconstrained or whatever. Lead to many misunderstandings. Those misunderstandings end here, which is actually very true. I'm so rational, I'll misread things that you say and like things that like my family says all the time.
Yeah, we have a lot of miscommunications with like, we both talk, we say our piece, and we're like, got it.
We both
Great.
literally take it differently.
In totally different ways.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, he's agreeing with me. And you're like, oh, he's agreeing with me. Oh my God. Which is funny in the family sense because I'll say something and they'll take it totally the opposite way in like a bad way though. But for us, it's usually like to benefit each other. I think we both think we take it the way that we want to perceive it, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
in conclusion, it says few personality types are as poetic and kind-hearted as mediators. Their altruism and vivid imagination allows mediators to overcome many challenging obstacles more often than not, brightening the lives of those around them. Do I brighten your life, Lane?
Sure, Ben.
Thank you.
Of course.
Mediators.
It's called that show, right?
Yeah.
The Delilah Show?
The Delilah Show, yeah.
Typical
Delilah.
Monday.
Mediators' creativity is invaluable in many areas, including their own personal growth.
Nice.
Yet they can be tripped up in areas where idealism and altruism are more of a liability than an asset. So in like a business sense, where people don't value those, it's, yeah.
I got you. So if we started a business, I think they would be the most endearing employees ever. I mean, I've got the business know-how type all work together so no one feels, singled out or unappreciated. And you've got like the...
Cover the creative kind of
yeah,
areas.
exactly. That's literally perfect.
Yeah, I think we definitely make up each other's deficits pretty well.
What should we sell? How about merch? We could sell merch to the masses. Speaking of merch, kidding, not yet. One day.
One day.
Let us know if you would like merch. I've been thinking about it. Maybe some hoodies. It's cold, Hey, 'tis the season. Buy a hoodie.
I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of people doing buttons as merch recently.
Buttons,
like pins, more pins.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen probably 4 or 5 different podcasts / whatever that I listen to are doing pins.
Dang, I would never buy a pin. Would you buy a pin?
I don't know if
I've never seen you wear a pin ever.
I've never worn a pin.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think so.
I'm just noticing.
On a
I've seen a lot of
maybe?
it. I don't know.
I'm sure they're cheap. Maybe we
I was
can
gonna say that's
sell
probably what
pins.
it is. They're cheap.
I'd rather sell good quality merch to our fans than some cheap pin.
I'd rather have fans.
You're right. I'd rather have fans to sell to. It's true. Very true. Maybe we can start selling some hoodies, some shirts and beanies. You never know. I mean, we're in Florida. It doesn't really get cold here, but we can wear sweatshirts and hoodies for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying wearing I have a couple good beanies that I really like.
Oh,
I've
it's
got
so
to wear
nice.
those.
Yeah. I'm digging out my jackets. I'm oh, I forgot I have this.
Yeah. And then now it's all this week going to be 85 tomorrow
I know,
or something
it's
like
insane.
that.
I think this is why a lot of people here get sick. It's just hot, cold, cold. It's insane, man. Extremes.
It's hot and you're cold.
Yeah, that's our
Yes,
personality
and you know.
types. We're
In and then out.
shouldn't be friends,
Up and then down.
yet we are.
Wrong and then right.
Wrong and then right.
This
Good and bad.
This is Katy Perry lyrics. So I'm just really.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I didn't catch on. Wrong and then right. That's Pink. Hot and you're cold.
Yeah, hot
Yes,
and
and
you're
you know.
cold. Yes, and you're no. And then you're out. Out and you're out.
Isn't that Pink?
That's Katy Perry.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm,
I'm gonna Google it right
maybe.
now.
I think I'm thinking of I Kissed a Girl, maybe.
That's Katy Perry.
What?
Yeah, dude.
God dang it! I swore that was Pink. Really?
Yeah.
Good lord. Well,
Pink
whatever.
is
All right.
I Want to Start a Fight.
Yeah. I know who she is. I just thought she did that song. All right. Well.
I know it probably sounds like I'm some Katy Perry aficionado over here. I'm really not.
You just know that song better than I do. That's too funny. I like what's some artists I like? I like Sam Smith. I definitely like Post Malone. I'll listen to some The Weeknd. I do like jazz too. I like jazz.
Really?
Yeah.
One of those guys.
I like some jazz. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not what
jazz
I'm
is
always
great.
listening to, but yeah, I dabble.
You know, I found this really cool band called Idols, IDLES. And it's there's kind of
Like idling a car. Like that's how it's spelled. Idols.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they're from Britain or Europe or someplace like that.
Oh boy.
And it's pretty good. It's like pretty heavy stuff, but in like a throwback, like
kind of poppy or like
no, like kind of like punky and like a really raw,
like Simple
raw way.
Plan, Yellow Card.
That's more like the pop punk stuff. This is like kind of like really like
Good Charlotte.
dirty, grungy, kind of like very raw punk stuff.
Three Doors Down type stuff.
No.
Like, I'm trying to like match them to something that I know.
I don't know how to explain
Puddle of
it.
Mud. I don't know, man.
Idols, they're pretty
How'd
good.
they come up with that name, Puddle of Mud?
God, I don't know.
Ditch filled with
It's
dirt.
mud
I mean, I
with-
just don't get
It's a
it.
ditch filled with dirt.
How'd they come up with that dang name, man?
Well, I know what our new Puddle of Mud cover band is
Ditch
going to
filled
be.
with dirt.
Ditch filled with dirt.
that could be a spoof. It could be a series of I don't know, something that we do in the future. Ditch full of dirt.
Yeah, Post Malone's pretty good. I don't get around to a lot of the Weekend stuff.
I definitely don't like all the stuff, but I like him a little bit. It seems too much full of himself, so I don't really like that. But
Yeah. Everybody's all these artists these days. Not to sound like an old guy, but everybody's such a big fan of themselves that
yeah, it's true. I mean, when you're in the spotlight so much, I get it. It's kind of hard not to
and the
So-
culture is celebrities. I'm not a big fan.
be. Yeah, it's
I like the
it's
old
hard, though,
stuff. Listen to a lot of Tom Petty. A lot of
Who?
60s, 70s.
The Who, Journey.
I do like Journey.
I went
The
to
Who.
a Journey concert a couple years ago. They were good with the new single. The new singer.
Arnel Pineda.
Yes, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
He's good.
Nice. He's
Very
very
good.
good. Super
Yeah.
talented.
Crazy.
Filipino guy.
Yeah,
Was just singing in cover bands and got
Saw
picked
him
up.
on YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane, man.
Yeah, my mom loves him. Big fan of Arnel Pineda.
Someone could listen to us on YouTube and see us, pick us up. We consider signing something. I mean, I'm not gonna speak out of turn here, but I mean, we considered the possibility. Hey,
Yeah, that was a big dream of
sign us on to
ours.
something.
A big dream of ours as kids was to start a band.
Yeah, I know.
I was talking about that.
Maybe we could though. I've got some okay pipes. You can play really good on the guitar.
I do what I
So
can, yeah.
We can do some little jingles. Hey, you never know, man. Christmas caroling. Christmas carolers. Oh boy.
Anyways,
How are we doing on time?
we are at an hour and 7. I think
All
it's
right.
time to shut this thing
Time
down.
to kill
What do
it.
you
They've
think?
had enough.
I've had enough of us.
All right, guys. See you next week. Thanks for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do.
Later.